Hello, Slickwaddle. Oh shit, the audio's not working. Hold on. This song is only a minute long. We're starting it over.
I've had a parking ticket on my
Hello, Slickwaddle. Congratulations on your first.
Except for when I'm driving, I can't really think except for when I'm doing something with my hands to keep my mind occupied, like 70%.
Hello, my
And
boy.
when I get home, I just sit in the car till Ben walks by the garage, taking out the trash, and we just laugh cause he knows I'm not getting out of the car. I'm staring at the parking ticket. I don't remember getting it, so it's not my fault.
You're kind of loud, but maybe it's my settings. I've got it in mind.
Trick myself. I'm really good at it.
Thank you. I think that's a little better.
I'm staring at the parking
Maybe it is like this
I don't
book.
remember getting
You're gonna get to watch Ethan Reese and Puggy talk about movies.
Who breaks into my brain and does this stuff. There's all the space that I take up, but I can't remember where I was. I don't even think that this is real. I didn't even want to be here, so it's not my fault.
It's a little short one. Okay, we listened to this yesterday. No. This is the one. We are indeed talking about Citizen Kane today, Slickwaddle.
It's time to get dressed.
So I throw a big or little rock into the marsh to appease the gods so we get film school. You might need to throw a boulder, honestly.
There's some things you hid away, but the grass has withered and the flowers begun to fade.
Big one it is, yeah, I think so. Ethan says big one.
Someone should
He might be saying that because I did though.
all of the world, all of the world.
What do you guys think about typography videos? Oh, I'm so sorry, Slickwaddle, I missed your vitamins. And now CJ is redeeming them, so we got a couple to take. Oh, thank you, Slickwaddle, that felt real nice. Oh, that one was for CJ. Thank you, CJ. Great to see you.
And it soon will be the day where he'll bring the world.
Oh my god, Ethan Reese, thank you. Thank you for taking your vitamins.
He didn't miss a beat.
I keep waiting to get tired of this bit, but I still love it. That's kind of how I feel too, CJ.
It's gonna be gone. All of the world, all of the world, all of the world soon will be gone. All of the world, all of the world, all of the world soon will be gone. We are not guilty of importance. We borrow 'cause we can't afford it. We want it, but we need attention here, or else we're just like everybody else. Is that wrong? Romance and countrymen, please lend me your ear. There's some late breaking news I know you'd like to hear. but the papers won't print it, and the TVs just won't air. Nobody gets the word, 'cause there's nobody there. The scales were set and the measurements taken, all the sheep left for great vacation. All of the world, all of the world.
Hello, Godfather Gus. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. We got one more for y'all. We got one more before we kick it on over to film school. I wanna put on my Citizen Kane shoes. Welcome in, young Johnny. So good to see you. Thank you for taking your vitamins. It's very important that you get big and strong by taking your vitamins every time that Vitamin Pump goes live on Twitch.tv. Kid is insane and the sunshine. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I don't know what took over me just then. Oh my god, look at who it fucking is. It's Bad Boys. Hi, Bad Boys. Thank you. Try to have everyone being listening along. Good. It's basically a podcast. Ola Gang. That's what the old nerd says, and as we all know, the old nerd is the proprietor of Goop. My daily shoes. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. I'm gonna send it over to Puggy, and it was very lovely to see you all on this fine Saturday Saturday afternoon. That's what I said. Saturday afternoon. Sapphic day afternoon. It's like a Good Day Sunshine by the Beatles, but it's Sapphic Day Afternoon. I don't. Is this a too mainstream? I don't know what. Anyway, here's Puggy. Bye.
Happy Sapphic Day, everybody. I'm not gonna do a big long-winded intro. I've got to make sure everything is working. Yeah, so today is our makeup day of film school. I'm so sorry for how it played out the last time. Well, not really that sorry. It wasn't my fault, and also we had fun anyway. For those of you who were there for the show and tell stream, we had some fun over there. So yeah, without oh shit, I know Spotify is what it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah. So happy Saturday, everybody. I hope you're doing well. We are going to be discussing Citizen Kane today with our good friend Ethan Viz, who I would assume is patiently awaiting and ready to go. So I'm gonna kick it on over there. We're gonna go and be in film school. Oh, there he is. There's our Ethan. Everybody. Oh, wrong tab. Wrong
Hello.
tab. Hello. Can you guys hear Ethan Viz?
Can they hear me?
I believe they can. Everybody, let's give it up for Ethan Viz.
Yay! Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Corny. Thank you, Corny. I appreciate you.
Thank
The
you, Corny.
suffix two fave allegedly human men. Is that us? Famous lover of mustard. Ethan Viz, I did want to ask you, my friend, what is your favorite condiment? Oh, I think we lost your audio.
Oh, well,
Hello?
sorry. Well, Pug, if you watched the Ethan Viz show last night, you would know that after rigorous tiering of condiments, I arrived on salsa being my favorite condiment. I like salsa a lot.
Wow.
I especially like a sweet smoky salsa, like a really good peach salsa. They used to
Okay.
have this great peach salsa from at Trader Joe's that I would get all the time, and it was
I
just
think I
like
might know what you're talking about.
it was like the perfect mix of sweet and smoky and spicy. Uh so
Nice.
I don't know if they still make it, but I used to get that all the time.
Yeah, we'll have to dive a little deeper into that when we start up the Salsa Guys podcast.
My voice
Which
says next time on Groceries with Ethan Viz, salsa tier list.
Groceries with Ethan Viz.
That might happen.
Ethan, my friend, how are you doing today? How has your Saturday been so far?
I'm doing great, man. I got up today and I had breakfast and coffee, and I was gonna watch the new Doctor Who episode. That was my plan. I was really excited to watch the new Doctor Who episode because it's the season finale, and I doubt anyone gives a shit, but this has been one of the best seasons of Doctor Who in the modern era.
Oh, yeah.
Doctor Who is just like it's a very uneven show, just like intrinsically because of the format. Even seasons that I love have a lot of like really weak episodes. And this season has been all bangers.
Oh.
Oops,
Wow.
oops, all bangers.
Oops, all bangers. We love an oops all bangers, though.
Oops, all bangers.
Mhm.
And I've been really, really happy with it. And then I tried to watch the episode this morning, which I've been doing every week because I watch it Saturday morning, and it's just not available. It's just like, no, it's coming out later because they wanted to like. Ncuti is amazing. He's an incredible doctor. But they were like, we want everyone to watch it at the same time when it airs on the BBC tonight. So they didn't put it out until 2, and that wasn't enough time to watch it before film school. So I didn't watch that. Instead, I watched the Citizen Kane episode of the story of film in Odyssey.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that?
I have not.
Okay. It's been on a bunch of streaming services over the years. It came out, I think, like 20 years ago, or not. I'm sorry, 15 years ago. Not a huge difference, but and it's by this Irish filmmaker who has a really great voice, and he narrates the whole thing, and it's the whole story. It's a 15-part documentary, so it's like over 15 hours long. And
wait, is it per movie or is it just like
no?
So there's an episode that focuses on Citizen Kane.
The episode on the 40s talks about Citizen Kane a lot.
Oh, okay.
So and so I watched that, and that was great, and it gave me a lot of thoughts to bring to you. So that's been my Saturday.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah.
That's exciting. Um, I too have been consuming media. I was at the Music Box earlier. I saw Fantastic Mr. Fox at the Music Box just about a couple hours ago, and
Hell yeah.
it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Maybe my favorite Wes Anderson. It's hard to pick between that and Royal Tenenbaums for me, but so good to see that on a big screen. A
I love that
little
movie a lot.
a little baby was dancing in the aisle at the end of the movie, right next to where I was sitting, and that will stick with me for a very long time.
It's beautiful.
Film is amazing, and I'm happy. Having an experience like that this morning, and then to now be able to talk with my friend about a movie is a very exciting. Your Discord window just popped into OBS. It looks like.
My Discord window?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Do you see what I see?
I do. That's very strange. I don't know why that happened. I'll
I could.
fix that. That's really weird because
Are
it
you're
shouldn't
using a
be.
virtual camera? Or are you streaming your OBS window or what?
No, I'm streaming my OBS window, but I wasn't streaming that OBS window. I was streaming a completely different one.
Interesting.
I
Maybe it's
wonder
on.
if
Is it my
because
end?
no, it's definitely on my end. There's no way that you did it. Let me try to fix
I
it.
hacked into the mainframe to get your OBS onto my show.
Okay, there it goes. It went back to normal. That was very strange for me.
Yeah, I don't know what
Why did
happened.
why did that happen? I literally have no fucking clue why that happened.
Huh.
Whatever. Let's ignore it and move on.
Gnomes is saying I need to start watching this season of Doctor Who. This one is the very first Doctor that I've watched. I wanted to touch on Doctor Who a little bit because I didn't speak to it at all, but I fell off Doctor Who, I believe after Matt Smith, but I watched Eccleston through Matt Smith.
So Capaldi was where I started. That was my entry point. Actually,
Interesting. So you picked up right where I quit.
yes, I picked up right where you left off, and because of that, he's my favorite one.
Okay.
Peter Capaldi is my
Have
favorite.
you gone back and watched 9 through 13 at all?
Oh, I got caught up for the that's so
Okay.
I didn't I was so what happened is they announced Peter Capaldi was going to be the new Doctor Who, and I was like, "Oh, that's fucking cool. I like that guy." And because I'm a huge fan of his show In the Loop, or no, in the thick of it, and then they did the movie version was called In the Loop, I think, which is the precursor to Veep. You've ever
Okay.
seen?
I haven't watched Veep.
But it's a show about British politics, and it's very realistic and it's very funny. And Peter Capaldi plays like basically just a fucking gigantic asshole, but
Doesn't he mostly play gigantic assholes?
kind of, but he's really good at it. And he was such a good doctor because he's the doctor that is like reckoning with whether or not he's a good person or not. Like
Okay.
the Matt Smith era gets so crazy with like how much shit gets fucked up. Like
Yeah, I think that's kind of why I started feeling a little jaded by it. I was like, this is getting a little too like I just wanted to see some fun sci-fi adventures, and it's getting a little
yeah.
heavy in a way that I couldn't really parse with.
And I really appreciated the Capaldi era because it was kind of like wait, what's going on? What are we doing? Who am I? Like there was like episodes where the Matt Smith doctor was just like so powerful and
Yeah.
confident in his abilities that he could just fucking do whatever he wanted. And the Capaldi doctor like really had to reckon with that. And like I said, like traditionally Doctor Who is a lot more uneven than this latest season. Like that's why I've been so impressed by the latest season. So there's a lot of really weak Capaldi episodes, in my opinion. But the highs the highs in those seasons are unmatched. There's a Christmas special that's among the best episodes the show's ever done. There's a 2-part finale at one of the seasons that is also among the best episodes they've ever done.
They're pretty good at the 2-part finale, I will say that.
Yeah. Sometimes they're not, but sometimes they are.
Yeah. That's interesting. Maybe I should dip my toe back into Doctor Who. I did really like Doctor Who for a very long time.
CJ, yes, Heaven Sent is the best episode. That's what I was talking about. Heaven Sent is such an incredible episode of television. I love it so much. We don't need to keep talking about Doctor Who though.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can pull off of Doctor Who. I just wanted to get my 2 cents in there because that was me saying, hey, I watched Doctor Who at one point. LOL. Maybe I'll get back on that. Where do you watch Doctor Who nowadays?
So the newest stuff is a Disney co-production.
Oh, okay.
So they have all the newest stuff on there. I don't know if they have the rest of the modern era though.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where you would start watching the Capaldi seasons if you were going to do that.
It's probably like BritBox or something.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, just one little quick side note. We don't even need to get into this, but have you heard of or ever seen Inside Number 9? Do you know that show at all?
Inside Number 9, no.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that some other time. I want to recommend that show to everybody at some point because God, that show is it's an anthology show. It's these 2 guys. They're always in pretty much every episode, but it's different actors every episode. The best way I could put it is it's kind of like and let me finish the whole sentence because you may get a certain perception just based off the intro to this sentence, but I would say it is like if Black Mirror were more about interpersonal interactions and like faux pas of humanity, I guess. Ponderitis is here.
Hello, Ponder. Oh shit, where am I? Fuck, I went into the void for a second. Hi, Ponderitis. Thank you so much for taking over, Omens. I really appreciate it. That was the wrong button. Thank you, Ponder. So good to see you. Take your vitamins. I love you. Back to you guys.
Anyway.
Thank you, Snail Bear.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh shit, I'm in the void again. Thank you, Ethan Fish. I love you, Ethan.
I love you too, Snail Bear.
Okay, everything's still working. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. More people are taking their vitamins now.
Hello, Enemy Mouse. Hello, Corny Midland. Oh shit, that was the wrong button. That was for Enemy Mouse. This one's for you, Corny. Oh, this one. Okay. Oh my gosh, thank you, my boy. I appreciate it. Oh wow. Oh wow.
All right.
I mean, all right.
Okay. Hi, Ethan. Welcome back.
Oh hey, thank you again, Snail Bear. Yeah. So, Citizen Kane is a movie that we watched last week.
Yes, it is indeed. And you watched Mank, which is sort of a it's not quite a prequel to Citizen Kane, but in many ways it sort of also is.
Yeah, I watched Mank. I really liked Mank. Mank is a really great follow-up to watch after you watch Citizen Kane. It is the story of how Citizen Kane was written. It is about the primary screenwriter of Citizen Kane, who is played by Gary Oldman, and the titular Mank.
And it's the role of a lifetime.
It's the real role of a lifetime for him. Herman J. Mankiewicz was the screenwriter. and he was like a journeyman screenwriter. He was in the business for years and years and years. He worked for MGM a lot, and the thing that the story that the movie is exploring is the story of, well, obviously him writing the screenplay, but also his relationship with William Randolph Hearst,
Mm-hmm.
um, and um, and William Randolph Hearst's mistress, the actress Marion Davis,
Mm.
um, and basically directly links those two real people to the characters in the movie Citizen Kane. Um,
Yeah.
and that he basically wrote it out of spite, because of certain things that Hearst did that um, really disillusioned and disappointed him,
Mm.
and he writes this movie out of spite, and it's the best thing he ever wrote. Um, like that's kind of that's the thesis of the film, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it. I liked it a lot. The guy that's doing the Orson Welles impersonation really nails it.
Oh yeah.
um, yeah. Orson Welles is a character in the movie.
Yeah, I was reading a little bit about Mank. But ahead of this, I haven't seen it myself, but it's David Fincher, and it's his dad wrote the movie, I believe.
His dad wrote the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so it was it was very very much a passion project for Fincher.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, like he was gonna make it like a while ago, and then he just didn't get around to it or something, right?
yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, Enemy Mouse says I liked Mank, but not sure Fincher achieved the visual similarity to old film that he hoped for. I completely agree. Um, Mank is in black and white, but it's so clearly shot on digital,
Yeah.
and in comparison to the in comparison to Citizen Kane, it just does not have the visual juice. It does not have the um there's a word I'm looking for. Not interpretive, but like what's that style of art that's like all like points? Um,
Um, Pointillism,
not pointillism. Like
like pop
what
art.
Monet? Like what is Monet called?
Oh, impressionism.
Yes, that's what. Yes, impressionistic. Exact. Thank you so much, Enemy Mouse. Thank you, Vitamin Pug. Yes, the dramatic and dynamic filmmaking style in Citizen Kane is very impressionistic.
Okay, I'm
Um,
sorry. I have a question. Does this movie have fake film grain on it?
uh, maybe I didn't really notice. I mean, I don't think so.
I
Like,
have
not.
the trailer playing quietly below, or not quietly, silently below us,
I
so
do
people
see.
can see what we're talking about.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it's
know you
not.
could see it.
Um, it's not really. No, it looks digital to me. I didn't. I
No,
didn't.
I
Not.
agree. It doesn't look like it's film. I mean,
Yeah. It never read as film to me. The. I mean, and like really, he could have done. There are things that they could have done to make it look more like Citizen Kane, like an old movie. And a big part of it is like the lighting. Like the lighting in Citizen Kane is so powerful because he's not afraid. Like Orson Welles is not afraid to have an actor completely dark, completely covered in shadow. Like
absolutely. And
you can't even see their
that
face.
shit is so powerful when it happens too. It's
Yeah,
like it's very ominous in a way that's very effective. And I think honestly, when we do get around to talking about the actual movie Citizen Kane, I I don't think a lot of my praise for this movie comes from. I mean, the writing is good. Don't get me wrong, but I think the technical achievement of this movie outshines everything for in terms of story for me.
Sure. I mean, I don't agree with that personally, but I can see how you like why you would get there
Or at
and think
least
that.
that's how I took it this time around, I think. Because I think when I first saw it, I was just pretty blown away. I was in, sophomore year of high school, and I wanted to be a filmmaker. So, like, of course, I creamed myself a little bit.
I just think that the story itself is so important to like Orson wanted to make like a movie about a really big person.
Yeah.
And because Orson Welles himself was a very big person. Like Orson, like so much of how that movie comes together is just because of the sheer force of who Orson Welles was. Um, Neon Sock Media, holy crap, it's the movie guys,
Oh
welcome
my
in.
god, it's Neon Sock Media. Hi, Neon Sock Media.
Um, but yeah, it's and so like making a movie about one of the biggest moguls of the time while they still existed, because that's the other
Mm.
thing is that in
Right.
Mank, like it's all contemporaneous. He still has a relationship with MGM, which is the studio that Hearst was bankrolling.
Mm.
Um, the Bernstein character in Citizen Kane, that is basically a direct analog to LB Mayer, the head of MGM.
Okay.
That is who that character is based on.
So
Um,
what you're telling me is Citizen Kane is the Not Like Us of the 40s. Right.
yeah,
That
yeah,
that checks out, right?
yes, yeah, totally.
And Orson Welles is Kendrick.
Yep, 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 yep.
Explain yourself. What do you mean, Enemy Mouse? You know what I'm saying.
I'm talking. It's a gigantic piece of art that dominated culture, and it exists basically to call out one powerful individual.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant by that.
Yeah, I got it.
This is why we're the movie guys, Ethan.
um, Enemy Mouse also was going off about Fincher relies on CG so much it couldn't hope to appear like practical sets. That's very true. Fincher is a real he's very technically minded, which is cool. But yeah, he is not the kind of guy to succeed at making a movie look like an old movie.
Yeah.
Like he's just not that person. Like because he didn't he you know what? If someone was trying to replicate the look of an old movie, you know what they would do? They would shoot it on
Shoot it on
film with old
film.
cameras. Yeah, they would do that.
Yeah. And that would be a lot more effective.
Yeah. But that's just not how Fincher works. He really he's a digital guy. Like he's and he always has been. So that's just and I like his movies. I'm really excited for his next one. Have you heard about what his next movie is?
No, I have not.
Okay, get ready for this, dude. He is directing the sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, written by Quentin Tarantino.
Is it who's writing it? Or is
Quentin
it
Tarantino wrote it.
Quentin Tarantino wrote a sequel and Fincher's doing it?
Yes. So this was going to be Quentin Tarantino's next movie. It was going to be his 10th and final film.
But
The
Quentin
original.
Tarantino keeps going, this next one's my last one, and I'm quitting. LOL.
Well, that's the whole thing. So
Fuck you, Quentin.
he wrote a script that is basically a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it stars Brad Pitt as that character.
Yeah, I don't remember his
And
name.
it's I don't remember his name either, but it is about that character. It is about that character, and he so it was going to be his next movie, and then he had a freak out where he was like, oh no, this isn't good enough to be my last movie, because his whole thing is that he's going to make 10 films and then he's done. So whatever he makes next is going to be his last film, and then he's fucking done. And he
And
had
if he
this
makes
like
another movie, he's a fucking liar.
No, this is it. This no the 10th. He has been consistent with this. He's been consistent
I
that
know.
I'm gonna make
I'm making
10.
fun of the idea that he wants to do this 10 film thing.
It is stupid. I think it's really dumb, especially if you look at fucking someone like Martin Scorsese, who
Mhm.
is making some of his best movies in like his late period.
Yeah.
Um, like I, dude, I don't know if you saw it or have feelings on it, but I loved Killers of the Flower Moon. I thought
I
that
did
was an
not see Killers of the
incredible
Flower Moon,
movie.
but I've been meaning to. Um,
It's an incredible movie, and it made me so fucking sad and fucked me up real good in like all the
yeah.
ways that it was trying to. And Leo is phenomenal in that movie, but it's everyone around him is phenomenal. And De Niro is like my issue with The Irishman is that De Niro is trying to play young, and in this
Yeah.
movie he's at least playing he's playing like your grandpa. He's playing like this like nice old man who is trying to look out for you, but actually he is a despicable racist murderer. Um,
Oh.
incredible movie,
Enemy
incredible,
Mouse hates Leo in that.
really interesting. I thought he was great. I thought he was great. De Niro kills it as evil grandpa. Absolutely, Neon Sock.
um, Quentin Tarantino, you can make more than 10 movies. That's fine. Nobody's gonna be
Yeah,
mad. Like,
no one gives a shit, dude.
yeah, also no one gives a shit. Um, that's interesting though. I've there's a couple holes in my Tarantino. Like I still haven't seen Hateful Eight.
Okay, I'm a big Hateful Eight defender.
REM.
Just because
It's so
people,
long.
hey, you know what's? There's also a longer version of it. There's also a mini
Yeah, but
series version of
why?
it. Um, because it's it lets the scenes play out more naturally and organically. It's very play-like. I mean, I think he really could have done it as a play, and I think that's actually where he is going.
Yeah.
Um, the
Oh,
true story
because
of Killers of the
he's
Flower
only
Moon is
making 10 movies.
yes, exactly.
And then
He's
he's
only
going to
making
start making
10
plays
movies.
and he goes, "I will be making 25 plays."
And none of them will ever be movies.
I don't do movies anymore. It's like being
I,
John Malkovich when he starts being a puppeteer.
yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, QT is so completely up his own ass, but I do like his films a lot. And the reason that I like Hateful Eight so much is because it's a movie that came out like right before the world started, right before like the whole Trump era. And it's basically a movie about how America is a really fucked up racist place,
Yeah.
and there are all these people inside of it that are trying to live together, but there are all these things that keep that from being able to happen, like like misogyny and racism and the lies that we tell ourselves to try to live together. Like that's really what it's about, is about the lies that we tell.
Hmm.
And like it's a movie that is one part western, one part The Thing. It's like big
Oh,
time the Thing vibes. And
okay.
The Thing is
Maybe I
one of
should see
my
this
favorite
movie.
movies. I recommend it. I think it's good. I think it's just a little bit more serious than people give it credit.
Hmm.
Um, and he really is trying to say something meaningful about America. Um, and I received the message. There's also just some really funny fucked up shit in it that I enjoy. Some really good performances, a lot of great subterfuge. The one location, the paranoia, the crazy character arcs. Exactly, CJ. CJ fucking gets me. CJ has been in the chat backing me up all show, and I really appreciate it. Um,
I yeah, so I saw Once Upon a Time and I enjoyed Once Upon a Time. I thought that it was fun. It felt like he wanted to have fun and stuff. It's interesting because would it be fair to say he had been doing period pieces? They're not really period pieces, but they kind of are.
They're historical fiction. He's been
Yeah,
lost
okay.
in a historical fiction rabbit hole
And
since
then this
Inglorious. And
still kind of follows that to a certain degree, but because it's pop culture history more,
yeah, sure.
it's a different vibe. And I liked seeing him make a movie that wasn't like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. It felt more fun than I was ready for him to do, I guess.
I mean, that movie is a big time hangout movie. That movie's a big time we're hanging out in 70s Los Angeles, and like you just get to like vibe in there a lot. Like a lot of my favorite moments in that movie are just like when I remember what Brad Pitt's character is called, Cliff Booth. When
Cliff
Cliff
Booth,
Booth
yeah.
is just driving around. There's some really great sequences of them just driving around.
Yeah.
And the way that they recreated what Los Angeles in the 70s looks like feels so authentic, and they did such a good job. Or is it the late 60s? When did that movie happen? I think it's the late 60s actually, when the Manson murders happened.
69, yeah.
Yeah. I almost said 69.
Nice. Yeah, I liked Once Upon a Time. It's interesting. I will probably go see a sequel of that, you know? I'm kind of
Yeah, I
in.
mean, I will watch a David Fincher directed Quentin Tarantino script. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to see what that is like. And I think it is cool that, you know, we like there are a handful of Tarantino scripts directed by other people, and I'm excited to see another one because Natural Born Killers isn't my favorite, but I do really love True Romance. You ever see that flick?
I haven't. It's actually
Ooh.
I've been meaning to get that. I there's a big gap for erotic thrillers in my film watching history. I've been wanting to watch, like,
Oh,
I haven't seen True Romance, I haven't seen Fatal Attraction, I haven't seen like any of those, but I've read about
Basic
them on
Instinct.
Wikipedia and I want to watch them.
Okay, that's an interesting avenue that we can explore at some point. I I don't remember True Romance being erotic. It is not Enemy Mouse. It is not really an erotic movie. It is a crime romance film more than anything.
Yeah, well,
But
yeah, I guess it's not erotic, but the that subgenre isn't really like erotic. You know what I mean? It's just usually got some I don't know. I'm
we
backing
can.
at beep beep beep. We are moving on.
All right. Do you want to talk about Citizen Kane?
Yeah, we can talk about Citizen Kane. What do you think?
I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about it.
All right. Well, where to start? What do we want
Well,
to?
well, I mean, so just to like close the loop on Mank, like I think some what is so interesting about the story is that it really is about like 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 culture and the world in that moment. Um, like it's about a really really powerful media mogul, and and that was a thing that people were living through at the time. And I think that it's I don't know, it's interesting how relevant it felt watching it. Um, and it's like I don't know. You watch it and like you're like, oh man, it's awful seeing this piece of shit guy have so much power and influence, and it's like you turn on the news and it's just like 1,000 times worse than Citizen Kane ever was. It's like, it's
Yeah.
really it's a timeless story. Absolutely, Enemy Mouse. And the thing that Mank the thing that Mank himself, the Herman J. Mank, what's in the story anyway. So I don't know how much of that movie is actually true, but the case that it makes is that William Randolph Hearst, as a young man, was a leftist and was supporter of revolutionaries, and and then he gets he becomes a conservative as he gets richer and older and stuff. Clarence, I know we watched Citizen Kane so we could watch Mank, and then we didn't watch it. So I finally watched Mank last weekend. But he it's I lost my train of thought because Clarence said you never watched Mank. But do you remember what I was just saying before I got distracted?
Well, you're talking about I lost it too. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't blame Clarence.
I don't blame
I
Clarence.
mean, yeah. No. Okay. The event that pisses off Mank so much that he writes Citizen Kane is Hearst has MGM make a bunch of propaganda about Upton Sinclair,
Okay.
the author and activist who was running for governor of California.
Really?
So basically, like, Upton Sinclair espoused all of the virtues that Hearst used to, and he was like straight up just a socialist. He was running as governor of California to turn California into like a socialist state, and they made a bunch of propaganda of actors saying that like they don't want to lose their homes because of socialism.
Oh shit.
And that basically cost that Mank felt like that cost Sinclair the election, and
interesting.
and he and he's just like,
Wow.
you literally destroyed the person that you used to be, and there's and so like he wrote this movie out of spite as a result.
It's a spite movie.
It's a spite movie.
Spite. We love a spite art. Spite art can be fun.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, this is an interesting movie. It feels pretty gargantuan, and I think I really adore the narrative framing devices with the news and with the interviews and stuff. It exceeds at doing its job of telling the story about a big presence, because it's like there's a Chuck Palahniuk book that I really like called Rant. Chuck Palahniuk's the author of Fight Club,
Yes.
if you're not familiar. And that book is told
Rant? I
from
might
the
have read it.
perspective. It's an oral history book, so it's written in interviews from people who knew this character, and the way it like mythologizes a character by having other perspectives on the singular, really, like, I think is a very interesting way of telling a story.
Yes,
especially
totally.
when you're focusing on, specifically one person.
Is that the one about car crashes?
Yes, it is the one about car crashes.
Yes. Okay, I did read that. I liked Rant a lot when I read it.
Rant is really cool.
I mean, that's sort of why I was pushing back when you were saying like the filmmaking and the technique is
I kind of count that as, I mean, I guess that is written into it.
Yeah, and that's part of this. That's the structure that Mank came up with for the film. The Orson's contributions are largely in the editing. Is like Mank delivered this gigantic script, and him and Orson had to cut it down like by hundreds of pages to get it into something filmable. I mean, and then that movie is, it's only 2 hours long. Like, movies are a lot longer these days. Like, if Citizen Kane came out today, it would be minimum 2:45, like 3. Yeah, like easily.
The sets are incredible, Enemy Mouse.
The sets. I mean,
the sound.
If we want to just get into the things that Citizen Kane does that are so crazy, the lighting, the sets, but really the depth the depth of field, the depth of focus, the
Mm-hmm.
staging, the depth of staging.
Yeah.
That's a huge differentiator between um, the kind of romantic Hollywood movies that they were making previously, which relied on very shallow depth of focus, very very long lenses,
Yeah.
that
Sort of like a
that make
play.
yeah, that and it's there it's with the intention of making the person that you're filming look the best, right?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
it's it's a lot of it's a lot about just presenting your stars in the greatest possible light, and as a result, you don't the backgrounds are out of focus, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't get a lot of 3D depth. Um, and something that they talked about in that episode of the story of film and Odyssey that I watched is that um, the the uh, the deeper the deeper the this deeper staging really starts in Japan in the
Mm-hmm.
1930s, and it comes over to America in the form of John Ford movies. Specifically, this movie he made with John Wayne called Stagecoach,
Oh, okay.
which is a movie where they spend a lot of time inside of a stagecoach. So it's very claustrophobic
Okay.
inside of the stagecoach, and then outside of the stagecoach, you have these huge, western vistas.
Yeah.
So, and to communicate the depth of that, he employed he staged things in the depth. He staged action um further in the 3D depth of the frame than you would normally do.
Okay.
um and that basically comes directly over, like, and who saw Stagecoach and fucking loved it?
You.
No, Orson Welles.
Okay.
Orson Welles fucking loved Stagecoach. um and it's a very very clear influence. And maybe we should pull up some frames of Citizen Kane, but it's like some of the shots in that movie are insane because you have this super deep focus. So you have like Orson Welles as Citizen Kane, like just right up on the camera, right? Like
Yeah.
just centimeters away from the camera, and you have characters that are, meters, yards away behind him, and you can still see them. Like they're still sharp and clear, but they're like the size of his nose. This is
This is just like a slideshow of
this is a
frames.
slideshow. This is not.
Yeah, I was looking for like a compilation of clips. There we go.
It's okay.
There we go.
But like that scene, the him
Snow
playing in the
globe.
snow scene,
Yeah.
where there's all this action happening in the background, like through the window, but we keep backing up and everything
Yeah.
is in focus and you can see everything.
Yeah.
Like that stuff is nuts. And is so, like, right there, that shot right there that or I'm delayed a little bit watching
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
stream,
know.
but the shot of his childhood house, and you can see
Yeah,
all the way
he's
through
out the
the
window
house,
with the slide, yeah.
out the window. Like, that's so cool, and they just didn't do shit like that
Yeah.
ever. Like, they didn't do that ever. And what was interesting about what they in the documentary I was watching today, the thing that they said is that, like, the trends, like, you have Citizen Kane comes out and it does establish this new language, and there are Orson Welles makes more movies. There is like a degree of influence that this movie has, but like by the time we get back to the 50s and like the Technicolor shit comes out, they're reverting to longer lenses and shallower depth of field, because the information didn't translate as well from black and from to the color film. Like the color
Yeah.
film at the time wasn't as good as communicating the depth that the black and white was. So
Oh.
all these color movies start coming out, and we kind of Hollywood kind of slides back into a romantic period, where it's all about making the actors look as beautiful in full color as possible.
Yeah.
Um,
Huh. Um. Yeah. Wow. That's interesting. I think Sorry. I let me get rid of that thing. I haven't seen Stagecoach, and now I kind of wish I had. Have you seen Stagecoach?
I have not seen Stagecoach. I have watched some John Ford movies. I watched Wagon Master last year on a friend's recommendation, and that was really good. But that's a more classical shot movie. Also
Hmm.
starring John Wayne. Um, I would like to see Stagecoach now and
After
they played
knowing this.
after knowing this, and they played a bunch of clips from it in the documentary, and it did look very beautiful. It did look like a really really great movie. The really funny part of the doc is that it starts with um pieces of an interview that Peter Bogdanovich did with John Ford.
Yeah.
And so Peter Bogdanovich was basically a protege of Orson Welles. And so in late in John Ford's life, uh, Bogdanovich interviews him, and the clips they play are basically of Bogdanovich asking some very interesting questions about Ford's art, and Ford being like, "I have no interest in talking about it." Like literally just being like, "No,"
He just
like
says
no.
no.
He's like, "No," and then like he asked like Peter asked another question. And he's like, cut, I'm done. Like he's just like he just will not fucking talk about what his films mean, like how he changed and evolved as a filmmaker. He just had no. He was like, fuck no, no, I'm not doing that. And I thought that was really funny.
That is pretty funny. Um. Yeah. I don't. I I enjoyed the rewatch. I think it's like a very visual. We've lauded everything looks great in this movie, but it
Truly
really is
does.
just like a joy to watch. It's it's a very good looking movie, and I find that I'm drawn to those quite a bit.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, um, I think for me, it's a movie that is is just so audacious. Like it's so big in so many ways that I can't help but get like wrapped up in it when I
It's
watch it.
epic, yeah.
It is epic. It actually is.
No, yeah,
It's like
I don't. I mean, epic, LOL, XD, but like, it's. I don't use that word for things that. It's gargantuan, I guess. That's another way
yeah,
of putting it, I think.
totally.
And I do tend to like works that feel like that. That it's like, it's it's crazy that this is Orson Welles' first movie because it's just like, where do you go from there?
Right. And that's a huge gap in my filmography. I've basically only seen Orson Welles' first and last movie.
Oh yeah,
Um,
what is his last movie?
so it only came out recently. It was like a lost film. It was incomplete.
I think I
But it's
remember
called
reading about this actually.
yeah. Netflix actually released it
Oh
within the
yeah.
last couple years, and it's called The Other Side of the Wind, and it is very erotic.
Oh, now
It is
I'm
very
listening.
erotic, and it's very textural and impressionistic,
Okay.
and half of it is black and white, and half of it is in color,
Is
and
that is that like part of it or
that's part of. I mean, that's like part of the intention of the movie. Like, yeah, what do you mean part of it?
Did he shoot it half black and white?
Yes, yes, he did.
Okay.
And
But
so
okay, I guess what I'm asking is it like canonical to the story? Is it a Wizard of Oz moment?
so what it is half of the story is about a director,
Okay.
and that's in black and white, and then the other half is the movie the director is making, and that's in color.
I'm sold.
Um, it's very interesting. Um, Peter Bogdanovich stars in it basically as himself, as like the protege of the director, which is fascinating.
That is
And
interesting. There's layers to that.
there's a lot of layers to that, and I think I liked so Netflix released the movie and a documentary about the movie at the same time, and I think I liked the documentary about it a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
I think the story of how that movie ended up like falling apart and how they rescued it is like really really interesting and entertaining, and the movie itself is more interesting in like an academic sense. Like, this is the final Orson Welles movie, and these are the themes he was trying to explore. And I personally, the most interesting stuff to me is the erotic color movie that is in the middle, that is like the movie within the movie is the most interesting stuff to
Oh
me.
really?
Yeah, because he's using the artifice of a movie within a movie to make something that he would never make.
So it does at the towards the end cut back to the director side, or
Yeah, it's cutting back and forth. So it's telling both stories.
You
But
you like thing within a thing. I've noticed this about you because you know what you also love? Invitation to Love.
I do love Invitation to Love. Well, that's it's. I feel like there is, when you're making a thing within a thing, there, because of the artifice of this thing inside this thing. This is fake, right?
Sorry, wait,
Like,
hold on. I need to just explain. Invitation to Love is the soap opera within Twin Peaks
in
canonically.
season one.
If anybody
Yeah.
doesn't know that,
Yes.
I just needed, because we're basically speaking in code right now.
Sure. I mean, yeah, just dropping Invitation to Love if you don't know Twin Peaks, but yeah, I mean, it is a what is it, allegory? What's the literary technique that is, where you tell a story within the story, and the story within the story reflects what is happening in the action in the
Allegory
story.
sounds right there. Mom Boy would know. Enemy Mouse would probably know.
But yeah, I love that stuff because I feel like and specifically in this Orson Welles movie, there's this, I get this feeling of he really let himself
Store ducking.
store ducking.
Store ducking.
Allegory would be 1-to-1 mapping. That's what I thought. Enemy Mouse. Illusion. Maybe illusion. What I'm looking for.
Thing within a
Here's the thing, here's the thing, here's the thing, yeah, here's the thing, yeah, yeah, here is the thing, here's the thing, here's the thing, here's the thing, yeah, here's the thing, yeah,
So many
yeah,
things.
the fucking thing.
Thank you, Neon Sock Media, for the 200 bits.
I've seen that before, but it really struck me this time how good that video is. Well done.
You know what's funny
You
about?
don't know who I am and what I'm cooking.
Thanks, dog, dude. That you and I, before we started streaming it, we were talking a little bit about your video, which I do want to talk about. We still need to get to that. And you were saying that it kind of came to you all at once, and that's how I feel about the Thing alert.
I love that. I love that.
It was a moment of clarity where I was like, I've got it.
Yeah, dude. That's the dude when you get a brain blast and you just like the idea is just there. It's just it's great. Such a great feeling.
It
Um,
is really something.
and I bet that's how Mank felt. I bet like in just like his anger and his spite, it just popped into his mind. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this
He just
movie
like
about
went into a frenzy and just started writing.
yeah. Um, you should watch that. I think you should watch that movie eventually.
Mank?
Mank. Yeah, I think you would
Yeah,
like
I
it.
would like to get around to that. Momboy says embedded narrative or mise en abîme for the device. But for what it achieves can be allegory or illusion.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's what I was thinking of. Thank you, Mom Boy. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
I almost said it was like the shows and yeah, Alan Wake. Absolutely, Bout of the Beard. Same shit. Talk about. I mean, I love the Remedy games. They love to put stuff in stuff. They love to have a thing in a thing, and I like that. I do like it.
You
And
love a
like I was
thing and a
saying,
thing.
I love a thing in a thing because it can be very revealing. You can do stuff within the thing in a thing that maybe you're too scared to do in the main
Okay.
thing, and that is so true in Other Side of the Wind. Like the movie within the movie is a movie that Orson Welles did not have the balls to make. He did not. He did not.
Interesting.
He wouldn't. He would never have made that movie, but he could make it inside of another movie.
Look, that's not the movie. That's the movie in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah.
you
Okay.
kind of.
You're selling this on to me. It's interesting. That sounds pretty good.
Um, explains why
Explains
Heath likes
why he likes
Vonnegut.
Vonnegut.
Yeah, dude,
Yep.
CJ, yeah, exactly. I fucking love Vonnegut. I fucking love the Kilgore Trout stories inside of all of those stories. My boy says people started telling stories because that offered freedom. So further iterating out only amplifies it and gives you permission to go deeper. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We don't have to sell the mini movie to the studio as directly. That's also true.
Totally, Enemy Mass. Totally.
Yeah.
Again, though, I will caution everyone if you're gonna watch the other side of the wind, it's not as good as Citizen Kane. It is. It is not. It is not on that level. It is very interesting. I find it really interesting. The more interesting story being told, I think, is the documentary version of it, just telling the story of how the movie fell apart and then got rescued. So if you don't like things that are boring, be prepared because I do think Other Side of the Wind is very boring at points.
Well, we do know you like boring things too. You like thing and a thing, and you like boring.
I do I like thing and a thing, and I like boring.
What is the most boring movie that you love? And also, what's your favorite condiment?
We already covered this salsa. My favorite boring movie, dude. I don't know. I've seen some. Here's the thing. For me, they're not boring. For me, I'm not bored, but I have seen the 8-hour Bellatar movie Satan Tango. I have seen that film.
8 hours.
Yeah. Dog, dude.
Did you do it in one sitting?
Yep, I saw it in the theater. It was a first date.
Wow. Wait, hold on. You went on an 8-hour movie date for your first date?
Yeah, and guess what? No second date.
Okay. Did this person who you were on this date with stay for the full movie?
It was their idea, so yes.
Oh.
It was their idea.
It was not your idea.
It was not my idea. It was this dude.
That is surprising to me.
It was not my idea. This movie was not on my radar at all. But it was like it was a dating app thing. It was someone that was into film, and we were like chatting about film, and they were like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see this 8-hour Bellatar movie called Satan Tango. Do you want to come? And I was like, I fucking love movies. Of course.
Where was
It was at the
this?
it was at the Gene Siskel Film Institute.
Oh, okay.
And it was an original print. It was an incredible experience. It was a really, really it's one of like the most memorable cinematic experiences that I've ever had. If I could briefly go into a little bit about the movie. Is there a Siskel and Ebert review of this movie? I don't know. Maybe it was made in the late 80s, early 90s, so there might be. Shogundi, hi Shogundi.
Shogundi, thank you for taking your vitamins. I really appreciate that.
Hello, Shogundi. Hello, Shogundi. It's so good to see you. Oh, thank you, Shogundi. We are doing film school. Good to see you, my friend.
Anyway, sorry about that.
Oh, for sure. But so they actually brought up this movie Satan Tango in the story of film episode I watched as an example
the same episode.
The same episode as an example of a movie that was influenced by Citizen Kane and specifically the depth of field. That's a movie that uses really wide angle lenses to have things go from foreground to background very seamlessly.
Yeah.
And so Satan Tango is the story of a very small, poor village in Hungary, and basically the village is seduced by a very charismatic individual and convinced to abandon their village and join like a communist society, basically. And there is a lot of just fucking like depths. There is a lot of just dark in that movie. I have never been in a theater and had such an intense emotional. It was not even me. It wasn't even me. It was the people. It was people all around me were screaming in how disgusted they were in what they were seeing.
Yeah.
They were bawling, crying. They were upset. They were like, "Fuck this! I don't want to see this." And I've never had that experience before. And
what? They just
all right, so
stayed there?
Yeah, because it's your if you're gonna go to an 8-hour Hungarian movie about the darkness of the human spirit, then like, yeah, you're locked in. Like you're not leaving. And so there's this part in this movie where there's this little girl. And the spoilers for Satan Tango. There's a part in the middle of this movie where you follow a little girl around, and she has a cat, and she is just completely ignored by everyone in her life. Her mom doesn't give a shit about her. No one cares about what she's doing or what she's up to, and the only thing that she has control over is the cat. And at a certain point, she decides to kill her cat. So she gets some rat poison and she puts it in some milk, and she puts the cat's head in the milk and forces the cat to drink the milk. And then you watch the cat die. And people in my theater could not handle it. They were, like I said, screaming at the screen and crying. And it's very, very, very rough to watch. However, after everyone finished crying about the cat, the little girl commits suicide, and no one fucking gave a shit in comparison. God. Like the emotional outpouring about the cat was fucking nothing. Was everything in comparison to this when the little girl died, no one fucking cried. I didn't hear any tears. I didn't hear fucking anyone reacting. But when this fucking cat dies, everyone is just
Are
like
you sure this is a Citizen Kane
literally
show?
falling apart. And it's, and it's, I don't know. It said a lot to me in the moment. It felt really meaningful when I watched it. I mean, a part of it is the little girl killed the cat, but so it's like, fuck you, little girl. You should kill yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not how I felt when I watched it. I was like,
Yeah, that's how the collective audience who weren't crying for her death
yes,
were feeling.
yeah, that's how that felt. But for me, I was like, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, this is fucking devastating. But yeah, so that's a movie. That's a fucking movie.
I honestly didn't know that they. I mean, I guess it makes sense that there are movies that come out that are that long, but I didn't really know that there were 8-hour movies.
I'm all set on that one. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling anyone to watch it.
Hey Ethan, what's your favorite condiment?
Did you hear that?
It's salsa, dog, dude. We figured it out last night. I like salsa.
That's a good question, though, dog dude. I appreciate that. Neon Stock Media also said, "Are you sure this is a Citizen Kane show?" We've talked a little bit about Citizen Kane.
We can circle back. I mean,
Really, when you talk about Citizen Kane, you can talk about any movie though, because it is movie. It is the movie, and we're the movie guys, and that's how this works.
I mean, like Citizen Kane is such a large thing that like I mean, this Bellatar movie directly influenced by Citizen Kane. Like it's all a continuum. Like that's what's so like that's why I talking about like the context and the influences that like Stagecoach being an influence and the things that come afterwards, I think is valuable and is part of the larger conversation about the movie. So Emma, well, I feel like my ass circling back to Citizen Kane from Satan Tango. Fuck you, Neon Sock Media. Fuck you.
Give him a bing.
Bing.
Hey, fuck you, Neon Sock.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we want to talk about more at Citizen Kane, I'd like to talk about the rosebud of it all.
Okay. We could talk about the rosebud of it all.
Let's touch base on Citizen Kane later.
Let's touch base on Citizen Kane later in the show.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get to that later,
I thought it was very interesting when we watched Citizen Kane that a number of people that had never seen it had the rosebud reveal spoiled for them from Family Guy.
Yeah.
And I do think that like that probably had a pretty big effect on the people that watched their viewing experience.
Yeah.
Because it is like I think it both is really important and also not. Like Rosebud is kind of the MacGuffin through which we have an excuse to investigate this person's life.
Mm-hmm.
They come up with this question that needs an answer, and that's the excuse to tell the story. And the story is really the important part.
Right.
The Rosebud, besides being a MacGuffin, though, it is this core thing to the character. It is part of what they're saying in the movie is that this guy has not been happy since he was a boy.
Yeah.
Like the last time that he was happy, the last time that he remembers being himself is as a kid, before he was taken away from his family. And I do think that is really important to the greater story being told and the examination of this person's life. I do think that it is like not that important, like to what the movie is trying to accomplish. The movie is trying to make you think critically about this person.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what mysteries are for. Like that's such a Lynch thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like who killed Laura Palmer is what Twin Peaks is about, but also not really. It's
Right.
it's the mystery driving the story, because when there is a mystery, you start paying more attention. You're when there are things that you don't
Yeah, because
understand,
you want to
you're looking
solve
for
it.
clues. Yeah, you want to solve it. And I think that technique is really really powerful and is used very well in Citizen Kane.
Yeah, I agree. It's it feels like it's like sorry, I'm trying to like digest what you're saying and then also have my own thoughts. And it's just not working that well in my brain right now.
It's okay.
Um,
We can like take a moment if you wanna compose yourself.
well, okay. I what I did I caught it. I got it back. I got it back. We're back. So I believe when I first saw this, I did know it didn't get spoiled to me from Family Guy in particular, but I think I had probably watched a YouTube video a very long time ago that was like 100 movie spoilers in 2 minutes, like some dumb shit like that, you know. So I knew Rosebud the first time I have never watched this movie without knowing what Rosebud was. And
I think same. I think I probably was spoiled by Family Guy now that I think about it. I probably did see it knowing that. And as Enemy
yeah,
Mouse says, I think the movie itself very quickly establishes that the surprise is unimportant. I'm guessing the focus happened largely in the media around the film. And
mm,
you're probably right, Enemy Mouse. But that's the thing about any sort of mystery thing. People want to solve it, right? Like,
yeah,
if you present a mystery to people, they can't help themselves being like, all right, well, what's the answer?
yeah. I mean, think about like people watching Severance nowadays. Think about the like
Yes.
the discussion around Severance. People go detective mode and they go all fucking crazy, and it's just instinctual in human nature to want to answer those questions. And I think that like I like I said, I've never watched this movie without knowing that ahead of time, and I don't think it's ever like ruined anything for me because, like you were saying, it is just kind of like a framing device for the narrative. Like
Yeah.
it's really just coming down to having a way to present this person, because there's this one unanswered question, which doesn't matter.
I mean, it does and it doesn't, right? Like,
Right.
it's not like the Rosetta Stone that unlock. It's not like you find out,
Right.
oh,
Yeah, that's more what I meant. Like it's not the end all be all kind of thing.
yeah, it's like, oh, okay, this guy had he hasn't been happy since he was a kid. That explains it all.
Right. Yeah. We've got some chats in the chat. Uh, Momboy said, "Feeling really grateful that my high school friends were movie guys, so I watched a ton of classics in the early 2000s.
Hell yeah.
That's fun." Gnome said, "I wonder if people back in the day felt more strongly about the Rosebud childhood connection. I felt like I was trying to force myself to have an emotional reaction, but I couldn't. Is it because of the world and politics I experience?" That there's an interesting conversation to be had about watching this particular movie in the year 2025,
Yeah. Yes.
especially if
Totally.
you live in North America.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember specifically, actually, we were in the part where the dancers are singing the song about him, and people in the chat were saying, "Is it normal that I'm feeling dread right now?" And I think it was
Hmm.
in that moment where I was like, "Oh man," I was like, "It really does feel a little too real sometimes, especially with Cheeto Man. He loves this movie and he wants to be Citizen Kane, and in many ways it's a little scary to see just how much of the like media manipulation stuff is you kind of touched on this. You were saying you turn on the news and it's worse.
Yeah, yeah, it's way worse.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. There is. I mean, I don't know. So there is something about knowing that people have kind of been going through this for a long time that is a little bit reassuring. Like
Yeah.
I don't. It's like on one hand, it's like wow, we're still going through this. On the other hand, it's like there were incredible people and artists, 100 years ago or 80 years ago that were feeling the same way that we are feeling right now, and they made incredible art about it, and they got through it, and that's kind of how I feel right now. I feel like if we're gonna get through this, then we need to come together and we need to make stuff together. Um, yeah, I don't know. Power has
Yeah.
always been power. Doesn't enemy mouse. That's true.
Yeah. Able to see past figures in a more flawed light now too. Yeah, it definitely did feel different. I mean, I'm also pretty significantly older than I was when I first saw the film. And it's interesting how things can do that. But I think that it's more to do with the actual content of the film itself, of like the people in power, and I'm personally I'm a big fan of. I think you were talking about Triangle of Sadness in Cartoon Therapy's chat that one time. Is that
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah. I like Triangle of
There
Sadness.
was like a few of those kind of things. There was a few movies that were coming out a few years ago that were like, I mean, I guess it's not anything new, but it felt like there was a lot of stuff coming out that was all about like class struggle. Um,
Yes, totally.
like Parasite and Triangle Sadness, and even like The Menu to a
Yes,
degree.
I was thinking of The Menu. Yes, absolutely.
And like I love those fucking movies, and I think those are really interesting and thought provoking movies. And something like this is also talking about class, but it's only real. I mean, it's not about. I mean, I guess it is sort of about division of class, but only on the like ultra wealthy side for the most
Yeah.
part.
Okay, there's a Studio Ghibli movie that I adore. It is not by Miyazaki. It's by the other guy, who I can never
Yeah.
remember how to say his name right. Isoa Takahata. Um, called The Tale of Princess uh, Kagua.
Oh
And
yeah, I have not seen it.
okay, so just like baseline, could you pull up a trailer of this movie?
Yeah. Sorry. I should be doing
Um,
my job, and I'm pouring Twizzler nibs onto my table.
Mom boy, fucking absolutely. That okay. I'm gonna read the chat real quick
Yeah, go for it.
look this up. So CJ said, I think since I watched this as a parent and knew what Rosebud was, I was connected to his child growing up and feeling pain at watching him go down the wrong path. And I think that's a really interesting perspective. Um, Momboy says, I agree that is reassuring, but I also get kind of gassed up thinking about how our patience should have run out a long time ago when it comes to socioeconomic oppression. I feel
Yeah,
that so hard, so hard.
absolutely.
Kind of every day, I'm sort of like, how is everything still the way it is? That it's the division of class across one character, I suppose, also between his caretaker and himself. Yeah, good point, Enemy Mouse. Absolutely.
Yeah, interesting.
Um.
Um, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. This. So
Well, okay.
what I pulled up here is the Tale of the Princess Kaguya.
Yes. So I think this movie is completely gorgeous. I think it's in my opinion, it is one of the most beautiful animated films ever made. The backgrounds are all watercolor, and the animation has a sketch-like quality to it, like charcoal drawing sketches. Um,
Oh, it looks nice. I want to watch
the
this.
Dude, it's so good. and it is based on one of the oldest Japanese folk tales, and guess what? It's entirely about class and gender. Like
This is?
that's yes, it is
Yeah, okay.
entirely about
I'm
class
in.
and gender. And it's like we've been fucking going through it, basically since people had societies, we've been fucking going through it. Um, and there's like the tale of Princess
Kaguya.
Kaguya. Thank you, Ivan.
Maybe we'll fucking run a movie night of this some point soon.
That would be great. I really the music in this is really beautiful as well. There's a lot of great songs, but I mean, so the basic plot is that it's the Japanese folktale is sometimes referred to as the tale of the bamboo cutter, and because what the story is that this very poor bamboo cutter, one day he is cutting bamboo, and he finds a little baby inside one of the bamboo stalks, like a little miniature baby. Like they can fit.
He finds a baby in the bamboo.
He finds a little baby in the bamboo, and it's like the size. It fits in his hand, and he takes it home to his wife.
That's a little baby.
It's a little baby. Takes the baby home to his wife, and the
is
baby
it Hassie? Sorry, I had to sneak one in there real quick.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yep, it's Jesse. And the baby in front of their eyes becomes a full size baby, and then they raise it and to be their daughter. And I think either at the same time or like right afterwards, he chops another bamboo and there's just a bunch of gold inside. Okay. There's just like so they're immediately just like hooked up with a baby and money, and things are great, and they live out in the forest.
So is that baby the princess?
Yes, she is the princess. And so what happens is they're happy living out in nature. The prince, Kaguya, loves it. Is like falling in love with forest and what are you laughing at me? Are you laughing at me?
Mom boy said, "What if you cut the bamboo wrong and slice another baby?" And I'm sorry, it caught me really off guard.
Good one. Well, they're not supposed to be a baby in there. They're not supposed to be a baby in there.
There's supposed to be nothing in there usually, right?
There's supposed to be nothing in there. It's kind of crazy if there was a baby in there, and who would expect another one?
I'm not gonna lie. If I cut open a bamboo stalk and there was a fucking tiny baby in there, I'd be pretty weirded out, man.
Enemy Mouse is right. Bamboo promised nothing would be in there. I'd be afraid to cut anymore. I mean, yeah, maybe.
They're using special baby-proof machetes, says Slick.
Yes, thank you, Slick. You get it. And I think you guys are getting hung up on the logistics of this folktale, because the whole point is that the father thinks that because they were given all this wealth and the baby, that means that they're supposed to give this girl a better life than what they can offer. So they move out of the country and into the city, and buy a big mansion, and basically thrust her into society. And society for a noblewoman means getting married to a lord. So it's like basically like as the movie goes on, it's just everything just gets worse and worse the richer they get. Like the more class, the more they achieve, the more the princess is just fucking miserable and hates being here. And it's just like, and that's like their oldest fucking story. Yeah. That's one of their oldest folk stories. and just like that, just I don't know. There's something about that, like knowing that like you know, people have been thinking about this stuff for fucking forever, and
Yeah.
there's a comfort in it, but there's also like an anger I feel because it's like we're still fucking going through it. We're still, you know, oppressed in all these ways. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Damn, that is pretty heavy. Um, I do want to see that though. It sounds great.
It's a very beautiful film.
Um, so I do have one thing I
I mean,
wanted to
and
share.
sorry, just to
Oh no, yeah, go ahead.
close the loop is it's a very similar story to Citizen Kane, where you know Kane's family thought that they needed to give him a better life, right? They thought
Yeah, true.
if we give you away to a wealthy person, you will have a shot at having a better life instead of the one that you already love with us. And you know, like, and I
Yeah.
think that's kind of the that's the through line that I connected.
Yeah, I see. I see what you're saying now. Yeah. Um,
People make
I
choices for you. Yeah, exactly, my boy.
yeah, that's no bueno. Um, I have one thing I wanted to share regarding Citizen Kane because it's something that struck me because I didn't know. I'm like, how do I frame this? There is a song by the band The White Stripes. You know the White Stripes? You're familiar?
I've heard of them.
Um, I was very much a big fan of the White Stripes in middle school and ongoing. Um, and the White Stripes have a song which is called "The Union Forever," which is what he says when he's playing outside at the beginning of this movie. And the whole song is like references to Citizen Kane. And I didn't know
Oh,
this, so when I first saw the movie, there was things that I noticed within the movie, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's that White Stripes song." And I found a video that compiles the song with clips from the movie. Um, and this is what I'm my show and tell time. I wanted to bring something here that we could check out. Um, he does say "Union Forever" in the movie. You got audio on
I do not. You stopped streaming.
this. Can you not hear it?
You stopped streaming your thing to me at some point, so I do not hear
Oh,
it.
did I? Here. Um, I can fix that. Here, I'll just give you that.
Thank you.
That work?
Yeah, that
I guess it just got old show footage, which I'm okay with. Kind of hard to hear real quick.
Can't be loved, for there is no true love.
I wish it was just the studio version because it would be a lot easier to hear what he's saying.
Yeah. Weird choice by this person.
Yeah, I don't know why they here. Well, I have the regular song pulled up here. See if I can maybe we'll just give the song a listen and I'll go and scrub through for the footage in that video. Yeah, this is working so well, right?
Jack White just pulls lines from the movie here. There's one part in specific that we're gonna get up on here, where when I saw the scene in Citizen Kane, I was just like, you'll see what I mean in just a sec here. Anyway, you kind of get the point after that, but the first time I saw this movie, I was like, "Oh my god, it's the White Stripes." And that's basically all I had to say about that. But
Just name it and it's yours. But you gotta love me.
I don't know.
Shipping or real estate. Sorry, but I'm not interested in gold mines, oil wells, shipping or real estate.
Why did they pick a live version?
I don't know. It's bizarre. It's like we should remake it. You know.
We should remake. I'll just pull this video and put the actual song under it.
Yeah, exactly.
Why didn't I think of doing that ahead of time? Oh well.
Oh well.
The film guys can fix it.
My face when Citizen Kane copied the White Stripes. Exactly.
That's basically how I was. I was like, what the fuck? Because I mean, there is that. He literally just pulls the whole song. Where is it?
There is a man, a certain man.
Oh.
And for the poor you may
Okay.
be sure that he
Interesting. I mean, it's from Duke Ellington. One of those ones. Can't be loved.
Just by his action has attraction magnets on the run. Who loves to smoke? Enjoys a joke.
Me watching this in like English class in sophomore year. I'm like, oh my god, that's Jack White.
Imagine
Anyway.
getting arrested for seeing this on the street corner.
I meant to take more notes on this movie than I actually ended up taking. While we were watching it, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I just kind of got lost in watching it, and
I made like 3 notes while I was watching Mank.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and they were, if I ever go to the electric chair, I hope he's sitting in my lap. I don't know what that means. Oh, that's a line from the movie. That's a line from the movie.
Oh. I thought that was a line from your brain.
Nope. It was a line that I noticed and I wrote down. If I ever go to the electric chair, I hope he's sitting in my lap. That's what. Yeah, that's the thing that Mank says. I think maybe about either L.B. Mayer or William Randolph Hearst. Like, if I ever have to be put to death, I hope they're with me and also.
Yeah. Yeah, taking them down with me for sure. What else you got from Mank?
I don't. The only other note I have is that L.B. Mayer seems like a fuckhead.
Those are the best kind of film notes.
And then I linked him to Bernstein because he's the Bernstein character in Citizen Kane. And then I just wrote Upton Sinclair.
Yeah. Okay. I have 5 bullet points on Citizen Kane. Would you like me to read them to you?
Yes.
Here are my bullet points. The first bullet point was production design goes Blanky. Love that neon sign, which I believe I was the one on the roof. You know what I'm talking about. Number 2.
Has some genuinely incredible camera work. It makes you scratch your head how it's even possible.
Yeah,
Specifically at that time period, but also now. Um, the third note was just saying really lovely lighting,
the
always
lighting
expertly crafted.
the lighting is truly incredible. I mean, I don't know. We don't really. I don't have the words or the vocabulary to like properly talk about how great it is. But just the use of shadows,
Yeah.
the really strong, contrasty lighting is so effective, so evocative.
The use
I
of the lighting with the really good set design, and also like Orson Welles employed radio techniques for some of the sound editing in this movie, which I read a little bit about. I don't like you said, I don't have the vocabulary to really speak on a lot of it, but um, they really all fuck. I had it, but now I'm losing it. Um, it's a way of sort of characterizing the environments, which what you were talking about with the depth of field thing. It's like you really feel these atmospheres a lot of the time,
Yeah,
and that's a lot of due to the lighting and the set
they
design and stuff.
they feel
But
like fully realized 3D environments,
mhm.
and the lighting feels 3D as well. You
Yeah,
know, there's like volumetrics to it.
yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, so that was my third note. Great lighting. And then I already talked about this earlier, but I said the narrative framing with the interviews. I said it makes an impact for the legacy of the character. That's what I wrote in the moment.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's very fun and bouncing around from these different perspectives and stuff. And then my fifth note here, I'm gonna put it in the chat. My fifth note: this movie loves the news,
It's true.
which I think I said that last time when film school got canceled mid show. But guess what? They ordered another episode. Let's go, everybody! Film school. It's we're doing it.
We're doing it. I think we've done it. I think we really fucking did it. We talked about Citizen Kane. I mean, you know, I don't think that film school, or I don't like. I listen to a lot of movie podcasts, and
Mhm.
inevitably, a movie podcast, you like, at some point they just start explaining the plot of the movie,
Yeah.
and I don't necessarily think that that's what we need to do. I don't think we need to go beat by beat through Citizen Kane and
And I
talk
don't
about
think
what
we ever did.
we did not. No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think we need to do that. I don't think that that's, you know, it's uh, the conversation is about the movie, and that's what
Right.
matters.
And well, I mean, I think that sort of ties into hopefully what we'll continue to do with the structure of the show, which is to watch the movie in the Discord with anybody who wants to join us, and then
Yeah,
and then this is just the follow up, you know. And
yeah,
I totally
totally.
agree. I think that sometimes they do just kind of go scene by scene, and then I'm like, okay, I wouldn't be listening to this if I hadn't already seen the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, no, this has been very interesting, and I'm sorry I didn't always have the most well thought out things to say, but
Oh, please
yeah,
don't apologize. You know, I think we had a good time. And Minnie Mouse says, now, does this movie love the news or love dissecting the news and critiquing it?
both.
Well, what a question.
It's
I think
fucking both.
it's more interesting to hear what you think anyway. Thank you, Mom Boy.
Thank you, my
Um,
boy.
I do think that it comes from an era where the news was just more respected in general. Just like our current the current state of the news is just such that we do kind of live in a different media environment where, you know, the papers were the news. That was it. You know, like there was newsreels, so it's like you could see some real stuff, but it's mostly just the written word, and like that was the world. Um,
Yeah.
and we're so different now.
We are pretty removed from that, and we're also, I mean, like, I don't want to open a whole can of worms here, but we're kind of on the brink of collapse with the news.
Oh yeah, media is not doing good.
It's getting real scary.
I implore everyone to support independent journalists and independent media outlets as much as possible.
Neon
Neon
Sock Media
Sock.
is saying, "Wait, no plot discussion." Is there any specific plot points you want to talk about, Neon
Not,
Sock?
yeah, what do you want to
I'm
talk
gonna
about,
throw
Neon?
that one right back at you, buddy.
I
Anyone
mean,
else
Mouse,
says, I still know people who believe in the objective, balanced responsibility of the news, as though that promise is A, worthwhile, and B, being made good on.
I thought this was the movie guys, and it's not. Well, first of all, it's not Neon Sock Media. This is not the movie guys. This is Film School. But second of all, we've been talking about movies this entire fucking time, and it's usually been related to
It's
Citizen Kane.
been yeah, as tangential as it's gotten, except for maybe talking about like Doctor Who at the beginning. It's
Yes,
all been
yes.
tied back to Citizen Kane in some way,
That was
whether
that
it
was
be
the
just being an epic thing or like that, whatever.
Doctor Who and Fantastic Mr. Fox were just what what we did today. We were just opening the
Yes,
show with where are our minds at? What have we been doing? Um,
right.
so, but yeah, Neon Sock, I love you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out. But I don't want to recount this plot of Citizen Kane right now. What is the plot of Citizen Kane? Old guy die, and people are like, what's up with that rosebud thing he said? And then a reporter goes and interviews the only people in his life, and then at the end they don't find they don't know what rosebud is, but the movie does, and it tells you.
Yeah.
Momboy has big thoughts on how publishing has evolved in the last 150 years. I fucking bet. I fucking bet. I do think we should. Was that so hard?
Bruh.
Well, guys, that was film school, and I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Film School with Ethan and Pug. I don't know if he's coming back. I think we might get canceled after this. Oh, look, there he is. Hi, Ethan. Welcome back.
I had to go get salsa.
He had to go get the salsa. Um, well, is there anything else you wanted to talk about regarding Citizen Kane?
I'm not really. I want to announce the next movie.
Yeah, I was gonna cue you up for that, but yeah. So this is how we decided we were gonna do it because I picked Citizen Kane to watch. We were gonna say what is the next film school episode going to be. Um, and Ethan told me that he has selected. I think if you're still doing the same movie, it is the movie that made him have this idea to do a movies stream with me.
Yes, it is. I very similarly to how you landed on Citizen Kane. You were thinking about a movie and you wanted to watch it. I was thinking about a movie and I wanted to watch it, and it's a movie I've never seen.
Okay.
This is like one of my biggest blind spots. It's a movie that's very very important, and I've never seen it. I did watch the opening scene. Okay, here's my clue to you, Puggy. They play the
Okay.
opening scene in film school. They basically they always show this. They always show the opening scene in film schools, but I did not watch the movie itself.
In just like an intro class or like
In like in like sure, in intro class. Hey, Marty. Yeah, you're very late. Go ship.
opening scenes. And it's a classic movie? Is it like
It's a classic. It's a stone cold classic, and they play the opening in film school. I've seen the opening. I saw the opening in high school film school. I saw the opening in college film school.
Am I gonna feel like an idiot if I don't get this right?
No, I
Um,
just was wondering if you also had this experience of showing the
nothing is coming to mind specifically.
Vertigo. Says
Enemy Mouse says Vertigo. I love Vertigo.
I love Vertigo too. That movie fucked me up when I first saw it. I think I.
Oh yeah.
Okay, are you ready? It's okay if you don't have a guess.
I don't really have a guess.
All right, so the movie that we're gonna watch for the next episode of Film School, and talk about.
Your OBS thing happened again.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's the only way.
Hi, Marty.
It's gonna be this.
8.5.
It's gonna be Fellini's 8.5.
Okay.
Of course. People love Fellini, and I've never seen any of his movies. This is the one that is the most highly regarded one, the one that I've heard of a million times, and I've seen the opening scene multiple times. It's meta. It's about a director. It's kind of about it's kind of about himself. Gnomes has been getting into Fellini lately. Let's fucking go, Gnomes.
Hell yeah.
I watched City of Woman and I loved it. Awesome.
Oh yeah, this is. I'm excited. We'll have to talk soon about when we're gonna get that going.
Yeah, so we don't know exactly when we will do the watch party in the next episode, but we will let you all know.
Yeah.
Neon Sock says, "What the hell is this? An Italian cat that makes movies?"
Bruh.
Good one, Neon Sock. Yeah, so we will be doing another film school on 8.5, coming soon to assumedly this stream. That'll be a good time whenever that happens.
Good acting, but I've seen it 8 times and that's about enough. This time I interpreted it as a nightmare. This time, I thought there were other meanings, but now I'm not sure really. I compare it to early Fellini, but I like Fellini better.
Now I gotta know: did you trigger that, or did someone go to your chat and do that?
No, I did that.
Oh, okay.
Sammy wasn't hooked up until just now, so no.
Oh, okay. I see. You like Fellini better than Orson Welles?
I don't know.
You don't know. You haven't seen any of his movies.
I haven't seen any of his movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
But he's a very large figure in the avant-garde film community and history, and
That was someone else. That one wasn't you. I just gave somebody the idea to go do that because they didn't realize that you were streaming into OBS. Who was it?
I don't know. I don't have that.
Oh, you don't have chat up?
Let's see. I'll go to my stream manager. That was Battle of the Beard. Thank you so much.
I was gonna say I think it was Battle of the Beard, but I didn't want to call anybody out. Yeah, so that's exciting. This is gonna be interesting. I feel like hopefully we can keep doing this concept for a while, because I feel like there's always gonna be things that we'll want to watch, and I think it'll have some interesting variety, and I think there will be. Right now, we're sort of in our classic cinema era.
Yes, very much.
But this show isn't going to be just, the pit. Like, I'm going to bring Small Soldiers to the table at some point. Sorry for doing it.
We are going to watch Blade. You are going to see
we
the
will
movie
watch
Blade, and we're going to talk about it. So
and we'll probably watch like Fast and the Furious or something.
I don't know about that. Maybe. But I mean, a big part of this for me is an excuse and a motivating factor in order to watch a bunch of things that I haven't seen that I've been meaning to see for a long time. And 8.5 is number one on that list. I have been meaning to watch this movie since I was 18, and I just haven't done it. And I'm excited to watch it with y'all.
Oh yeah.
I hope we like it. I'm prepared for it to be weird, and I hope it's fun. Sling Blade right after. Marty, Sling Blade is fucking great, so maybe we'll do a whole Blade run.
I haven't
Triple
seen
Blade.
Sling Blade. Oh yeah, we do Blade, Blade Runner, and Sling Blade.
Yeah, maybe we do a whole Blade trilogy.
I have not. Yeah, I haven't seen. I've seen Blade Runner. I haven't seen Blade or Sling Blade.
Sling Blade.
I didn't see the Blade Runner sequel though.
You didn't see it?
No.
Oh, that was my favorite movie that came out that year.
That was the most Ethan Viz reaction I've ever seen in my entire life.
I love that movie so much.
you couldn't catch the words for it.
Yeah,
I probably should see it, right?
It's great. It's great. I love it. I adore it. I think it's just like the production design. It really succeeded as being like a successor to Blade Runner. It hits the notes that it needs to, and it also is its own thing. And it is, I think, personally, I think it's a better story. I think it's a better told story than Blade Runner is.
I kind of feel like I'd probably feel the same way because I think Blade Runner has some weak points to it.
I think as a story, it's kind of weak. I think as a visual auditory experience, it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Like that's a movie that like I just put on when I want something on because it just fucking looks great and it sounds great. The music is incredible. And
it's been a while since I watched that one too, the original.
There's so many director's cuts. It's kind of a mess, but I like a lot of versions of Blade Runner. Actually, I like the work print version that has Brian Eno and David Byrne music in it.
Oh, that's cool.
I like one of the director's cuts. But yeah. This isn't about Blade Runner. We're gonna watch 8.5 next time. That's the thing.
8.5 coming soon to film school with Ethan Viz and Pug.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a good time. I hope you guys got something out of this conversation. Thank you for contributing to this conversation yourselves. Thank you, Ethan. I love that we have this little space where we can, digest art and talk about it and share things with each other. And even if that's just watching something together that none of us made, that's very special. And I love the movie nights, and I want to do more of them. Which, speaking of which, I didn't even say this. I think I'm going to do a movie night tomorrow. If you want to come and hang out, I think so. My mom told me that she has some shit she has to drop off to me tomorrow evening at like 6:30 or 7. So I'm thinking we'll probably do the movie night at like 7 Central. Is that too late for people? I know that we're not all Central time, but not that I know this is super impromptu and shit, but the point is I want to watch Harold and Maude, and I'm gonna do it in the Discord on Sunday night, tomorrow night, if anybody wants to go hang out.
Hell yeah, I'd love to watch Harold and Maude again. I haven't seen it in years, and I really love that movie.
It's for a very long time I would tout it as my favorite movie, and maybe in many ways I still think I do.
It is a all-timer soundtrack as well.
Absolutely, I have it on vinyl actually.
I want to make a quick shout out. I saw a friend of mine pop in the chat briefly to try to help me when I had lost one of my trains of thoughts. Doff, thank you so much for hanging out and watching. I don't know if you're still here, but I did see that you were in the chat. I meant to shout you out at the time. Appreciate you. Thank you for checking the show out. if you're
Oh,
still
yeah.
here.
Hell yeah. When are we watching the Ethan Viz Vitamin Pug feature film? Do you mean Tron the musical?
We have to make it first, Marty, but don't worry, it's gonna happen. And guess what? You're gonna be part of it, Marty.
Marty's probably gonna play Tron.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
This is just completely irrelevant, but I downloaded a Tron Evolution PSP game to my Retroid Pocket that I've been checking out. It's cool that I can. It's cool that I can ingest all Tron content that I never got to.
That is cool.
We'll probably have to do a Film Guys episode about Tron, right? About Neutron.
Neutron.
We're gonna do an episode on Tron 3, and the whole time I'm just gonna be like, yeah, Trent Reznor's pretty sick. And that's all I'm gonna say the entire time. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, dude, Trent Reznor, pretty cool. Daft Punk was pretty cool, but Trent Reznor also is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'll be my entire dialogue about Tron 3.
And I'll just be talking about Jared Leto the whole time.
Enemy Mouse, I haven't played Luminous, but I have it installed on mine.
Oh, I love Luminous Enemy Mouse. I got that on Switch. That's a great game.
I should do that. Are there any films you have absolutely no interest in and will not be viewing under any circumstances? Asks Slick Waddle.
It's an interesting question, Slick.
That is an interesting question.
I'm kind of a never say never kind of person in this line of thinking. However, I'm sure there is some shit that I have no interest talking about. So I don't know what that is. I'm not going to say anything out loud because I don't want the Love Guru. Okay, there we go. Enemy Mouse. We're not. Yeah, Love Guru.
We won't do Love Guru.
We probably won't do Love Guru.
There's not really too much off the table for me. I'm struggling to think of something that I would like absolutely say no to, but
I mean, just like something that's boring, like something that's really bad, we could have a really fun conversation about.
Saving Ryan's Privates.
You know what movie I don't want to talk about?
Watch Showgirls, CJ.
About? I love Showgirls. I'm a huge fucking Verhoeven person. I'm a huge Verhoeven fan, and I am a Showgirls.
I was reading about Verhoeven the other day, but I haven't really seen a lot of his stuff.
I mean, we're gonna do some Verhoeven on this show, absolutely, big time.
Are we?
Absolutely, yeah. You haven't seen RoboCop.
Maybe I was thinking of Basic Instinct.
When I said True Romance?
Yeah, when you said True Romance.
Yes. Basic Instinct is an erotic thriller.
Yeah. And that's how you circle. That's how I went beep, beep, beep. We're back.
Boom. We did it.
I haven't seen Showgirls. I have seen Total Recall.
That's a great movie.
Total Recall is fun. Have you seen The Running Man?
Yes.
The Running Man fucking rules.
They were going to remake it for a while. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, whatever.
Are animated films excluded? Absolutely not, Mahdi Narwhal.
No, we love animated films.
Is this a case of Ethan being fascinated by the train wreck rather than liking the movie plainly? Are you talking about Showgirls? If so, no. I like the movie Showgirls. There are some very problematic aspects to Showgirls, but we'll get into that when we do the Showgirls episode.
We're gonna do a Showgirls episode?
We're gonna do a Showgirls episode. Kyle MacLachlan's in Showgirls.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for it right now.
It's all right. Real quick thing on Showgirls. Showgirls walked so the substance could run.
Interesting. I'm in.
CJ
I
loves
love
film
The
school.
Substance.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm still trying to. I'm still kind of chewing on this. Is there anything off limits? I mean, there's things that are just kind of icky that I don't think we're gonna want to like talk about in depth. Like, I mean, not that kind of show, but anything
I don't
within
know.
reason.
I don't I don't see like talking about like like one of the Transformers sequels as like particularly engaging conversation. Like there are just a bunch of there are a lot of movies out there, and not all of them will offer an interesting conversation or a lot to dig into.
Yeah.
Gnome, something like Happiness is interesting and worth
I will
talking
talk
about.
about Happiness.
I
Happiness is
will
great.
talking about Happiness.
Yeah.
That's a fucked up movie.
There's actually a few Todd Solondz movies that are on my list that I haven't seen that I'd like to. He's a very interesting filmmaker. Battle of the Beard said patiently awaiting a Serbian film episode. Ethan Viz, were you ever one of these people who sought out the most disturbing movies of all time?
No.
I was at one point, and I watched a lot of fucked up things. Yeah, that's how I ended up
Yeah.
seeing Happiness, though. I did see that on a lot of lists.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that interested in asking you guys to watch something that is really like intentionally fucked up.
Yeah.
That's not something that I'm that interested in, but you know, art is powerful stuff, and you know, we might hit something that is like a little bit deeper, a little bit darker than Citizen
Yeah.
Kane or 8.5. Like that might happen. But
Yeah,
it's
I
going to be
think just like
because it's a,
the things that are especially disturbing don't lead to the most productive of conversations either, because it's a lot of just like, yeah, that's fucked up.
yeah. Yeah, totally. Mighty Narwhal, we will probably not cover Satan Tango on the show, and if we do, I don't know. I don't think so. It's here. Okay. I guess here's the thing for me, is all these movies are things that I would are things that I'd be cool with the audience, like you guys watching.
Right. You
Like
don't want it's something that, well, I'm not going to say it's something that you also want to watch yourself. I mean, well, it is, but like
it is.
you're not going to show something that you wouldn't want to watch yourself or really be watching with other people or something.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Marty, if you want to watch Satan Tango, you can watch it, and you know what? I'll fucking talk to you about it. If you want to watch Satan Tango and have a 2-hour conversation with me one-on-one, we can do that.
You guys can do that, and you can stream it live on twitch.tv and call it Film School with Ethan Viz and Madi.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. That's the show.
That's the show. Cool. Good show. That was a fun conversation, Ethan. I'm glad we had it. And can we, just for the last couple minutes, because I realized when I was like I started saying some wrap up y shit, and then I realized we have not talked about the fact that you have made a film, my friend. And I think I had a moment where it really washed over me, where I was like, wow, Ethan and I are doing a show where we're talking about movies, and both of us have, within the last several months, produced films of our own, of very personal stuff, and I think that's really lovely.
Thank you. I like making videos and stuff, and I don't really have the words to express how touched I was yesterday by everyone receiving the video I made very nicely and seemingly and getting it. And like, it's like one thing to make like a piece of art and you know what it means and you know like what you're trying to say. It's another to actually show it to people and feel like they understood it. even if they don't totally like, they're not no one's gonna read those letters that I wrote besides me, and the person that I sent that one letter to, but um, I really did feel like people got it, and that meant so much to me.
Well, yeah, and I was saying to you earlier, before we were live, that like conceptually you have this, layered and tiered kind of story, and you do it so effectively within just a couple minutes. And I think that like when the initial moment that I saw that you had posted a video, I was like, oh fuck. I was like, oh fuck, what did Ethan do? Oh my god. I was like, this is gonna kill me. And it even blew me out of the water after watching it. I just, man, really powerful stuff, and I'm really glad you made it, and I'm glad that you're doing your thing here on Twitch. I'm
Thank you.
feeling very grateful, and thank you for making that. And I just wanted to say that very sincerely.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I I really appreciate people watching it and having a reaction to it. Um it I don't know. I wanted to be a filmmaker for so long in my life, and there's been so many times where I just felt like, oh well, that's never gonna happen. I'm not actually gonna become that person. And I think what I realized is that I am the person that I wanted to be. I just need to keep doing it. Because I never gave up. I never actually stopped. I've been making videos basically forever.
You are the Viz man.
I am the Viz man. Thank you, Madi. That means a lot. Um, thank you everyone that's been hanging out today. I really I really love you all. Quite a bit.
Movie guys. Yeah. I it's yesterday was very special, and I with that it was just a week, and all these people are whipping up this stuff, and I think that it just continues to blow me away how quickly people will involve themselves in these spaces if we're making them feel important to us and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. That was a really important exercise, and I think all of us are feeling that quite a bit.
I got something out of it. I'm big time. Um, if you can make that in a
Mom
week.
boy, Ethan didn't make that in like just a week, too. Ethan made that in like a day or two. Ethan's fucking
Yes.
cranking that shit out. He was telling me he's trying to figure out when he was going to be able to shoot it, and you shot all of it the day before, yeah?
Yes, I shot all of it on Thursday. Um, I
Incredible.
did. I mean, I had been writing the letters before that, so I got the idea. Um, I don't know, at the end of last week. Did you film? I did film all of it myself, Madi. Um, so I had the idea, and I was working towards the idea for a little bit, for maybe about a week. But that allowed me to plan it out and then just execute. So I mean,
Yeah.
like I like literally, I was like, all right, well, will I have time before work to go dig a hole in my front yard? Uh, like, yeah, I made it work. I actually got to work on time that day, which was kind of nuts. I had a meeting, and I made it. A
Were you dirty?
little bit. I had washed my hands, but I was very sweaty. Like I rolled up to that
Oh,
meeting
yeah.
sweaty.
Yeah, that's fair. Felt like sort of a trust fall, and we were all caught by safe hands. I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah, did the neighbors ask any questions about you digging a hole?
They did not. that tree is new. A big part of why I was like confident that I could do it in such a short amount of time is because there is soft dirt right in front of my house right now because the tree that's a brand new tree.
Yeah, it is like recently put there. Yeah,
it was very recently put there, so I knew that I had soft dirt to work with. So I was like, I can dig this hole. But part of the slapdash nature of it is like I probably I regret like looking back while I'm digging the hole. I'm wearing like a flannel, and I kind of wish I wasn't wearing that because the way it droops over me is like not ideal in my opinion. But that's just like nitpicky shit on my end.
Yeah.
And,
I get nitpicky shit like that when I make a thing like that too. And it's like sometimes it ends up being that like when I go to edit the thing, I don't have an exact like the cut that I took from a certain angle doesn't last long enough or something, and I have to like compromise and put it to I don't know if that makes sense, but it's interesting thinking about the things that we nitpick with our own work that like otherwise people probably I didn't think twice about the fact that you're wearing a flannel.
I'm sure no one fucking cared, but it was something that stood out when I was editing it and watching it. Crazy Hair Girl showed up and said hi.
Crazy Hair Girl.
Hi.
Great to see you.
Marty says art
yesterday.
I nitpicked the shit out of mine as well. There are at least 12 post edits. Marty, I fucking loved your piece so much. You and Crazy Hair Girl delivered some of the most like emotionally raw pieces.
Yeah, it's super raw.
Like I could feel the like just looking at it, I could feel it. Like they are dripping in emotion, and you both did such incredible work. Yes, message received.
Art.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was crying for quite a while in that stream.
CJ said, I love CJ's video, and CJ said, I think earlier, I missed calling it out, but that their video was inspired by the window scene in the window reflection scene during the party inspired my CT closure video.
Mm-hmm.
So Citizen Kane directly inspired CJ Wheelwright. I think that's fucking cool.
That is cool.
I think that's fucking cool.
That's what CJ has in common with Satan Tango.
Yep.
CJ has more in common with Satan Tango. I hope not too much, though, right?
Oh boy.
All right, guys.
No, just a little. I think that's a great place to end it. I think this is we really landed the ship here at the end.
We did it.
We did it. She has living cats.
Yay, movie guys. We did the thing.
We did the thing. I can't wait
Happy
to do.
Saturday.
I can't wait to keep doing it.
Yeah, we'll be doing 8.5 coming soon.
8.5.
Not too sure exactly when. Probably probably like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. We'll let you know.
Something like
we'll
that.
Figure it out.
No, we'll figure it out.
me and Pug have to talk about it first, but we will figure it out, and we will.
Yeah, we do need to talk about it. And probably not live on Twitch.tv. Yeah. But this has been fun. I love the film guys. I love the film school movie guys. We'll have a theme song next time, probably. Even didn't know that, but maybe we will. I'm not saying I made anything because I haven't.
But maybe something will exist.
But maybe something will come out of my ass magically.
That'd be great.
Maybe we'll do that. Thank you guys for hanging out today. I don't know if there's... we might just end the show. I don't know if I'm going to raid out tonight. Unless there's something that we should absolutely be raiding into. Whale Thumbs is playing Egypt Frontiers. Should we go raid Whale Thumbs?
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. I've never seen Whale Thumb's Twitch stream.
I've popped into Whale Thumbs a few times. Whale Thumbs is usually doing some interesting gaming. I was watching House Builder at one point, I believe. Some Seaman Pacinos. Semen Pacinos. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out today. I'm gonna hit the raid.
Hell yeah! Thank you everyone. Hanging out and talking about movies is one of my favorite things to do, and I'm so grateful that y'all let me do it.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a total blast. Thank you guys for hanging out. Remember, there will be movie night in my Discord tomorrow night. Watching Harold and Maude.
Come watch Harold and Maude.
Come watch Harold and Maude. It's a really lovely movie and has great music and is really pretty and makes me cry, and I'm gonna be a big baby and cry a lot. Mighty, thank you for taking your Marty. Ah! Marty. Thank you for whoever triggered the raid message.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Bat of the Beard. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, CJ Wheelwright. Thank you, Slick Whoa. Thank you, Crazy Hair Girl. Oh my God, Crazy Hair Girl. Where am I? Ah! Thank you. Everybody get your...
Thank you.
I don't have the fucking raid message ready because I'm a noob. What? Why is mine not working?
Are you not subscribed to your own channel?
I'm not subscribed to my own channel. I'm just kidding. That's not possible, I don't think. All right, bye. Bye, guys. Have fun. Say hi to Whale Thumbs. Bye.